with me and Oprah Winfrey right now.
Woo!
This is the largest meditation experiment in the history of civilization. And we have scripts monitoring our people through digital technology. So I would say, don't even introduce any belief system. Start to observe yourself, make peace and equanimity and joy and love and compassion and empathy your priorities, and then see how that affects your state of physical well-being. It's been done already.
Great, thank you. Wayne, how do you think about truth and spirituality?
I think very, very strongly and urgently about it. I think it's I don't read the studies, I'm not a scientist. I go by how I feel and what I know. I know that the food industry and big pharma, the pharmacy industry has more lobbyists in Washington than there are congressmen for attempting to keep, I think, the food supply healthy, the drug supply healthy. It doesn't seem to me that it's that big a stretch to recognize that when you talk about obesity and these kinds of problems, as this grows and grows and grows, and diabetes continues to increase and increase, more drugs are going to be required and more and so on, that there's a big money factor involved in all of this. And to me personally, it just doesn't make any sense to allow companies, you talked about not being able to patent genes. You know, that seems absurd that we can actually patent our own genes, but people are going out there and doing it and getting it approved. Patenting seeds and foods and so on. I live on an island, I live on Maui, where 99% of the bananas and the papayas are genetically modified. You open them up, you look for a seed, there's no seeds in there because you used to take papayas, open up the seeds, or watermelons and plant them in the ground, and we'd get the next generation. Now you got to go to Monsanto or somebody else to buy them. That just seems to me insane and crazy, and that's my statistical analysis. I don't say that for applause. I say that because since I took, I was up in Canada, I was in Halifax, I was giving a talk, and I saw two people there, Anne and Paul, who I hadn't seen in 2 years. And I looked at them, and they looked fantastic. They looked so healthy, so strong. They looked younger. This guy had lost his belly. She looked great. Her skin looked, they were glowing. And I asked them what they did. And they said they changed their diet. They decided to eat a word you said, David, real food. Real food. And they took gluten out of their, which is in about 80% of the food that we eat out there now. And it's not the food that we used to eat when we were young people. I said, okay, I'm going to give that a try. I gave it a try. My skin felt a whole lot better. I lost about 18 pounds. I stopped being bloated. I had a fungus thing on one of my toes that I'd had for 25 years that has, in 6 months, now disappeared. That's my research. That's my statistic. I feel better. I look better. That's how I do that. And I admire both of these men. Deepak and I have been very, very close friends for 25 years, like brothers. So we've traveled the world together, been on many, many stages together. And much of the spirituality that I know about and write about and speak about came because of the endless conversations that we had back in the 90s. And I love you and appreciate it.
So it sounds like you're using a combination of your own life experience, your incredible observational powers, and common sense, as Deepak puts it. Has it been your experience that has let you down in the past ever? How do you think about if new data or new things come about, given the number of books you've written and how long you've been at this, how do you course correct or adjust?
I course correct and adjust all along. I mean, I used to drink diet soda, like 6 or 7 of them a day. And my wife said to me, you smell like a diet soda when you walk in the room. She said, why don't you give that shit up, Sergeant? But that's the way she put it. She hardly ever says words like that. And I said, okay, I'll give it up. I changed it. I smoked cigarettes. You probably did too when you were, I think we talked about that when you were, and my course correction was, this is just not a healthy thing to do. You know, breathing in noxious fumes just didn't make any sense to me. I started looking at the concept of fear and looking at some of the films that are out there on animals that are being let in and being let into rooms where the pheromones of fear are still left over from the animals that were just being slaughtered, just a few hours before, and the animals react. And so I thought, well, when I eat meat that has been slaughtered, I'm eating the fear. So I stopped eating slaughtered meat and things like that. I don't know.
Your observation and your own experience.
And I feel better, and I'm 73, and I'm the weight I was when I graduated from high school, and I feel good, and I've had major healings take place. And speaking of spirituality, I had an incredible experience, a healing experience from leukemia with John of God down in Brazil, which was an amazing thing that you've probably read about or heard because they did a big story on it on Oprah Winfrey and so on. I don't know, it's like, was it Talopa? I think it was Talopa you used to quote and say, have a mind that's open to everything and attached to nothing. I'm open to it all. I heard you say something about vitamins today when I was sitting there, and I thought, I think I take too many vitamins. I think I've been doing that. So I'm going to really look hard at how much of that stuff that I'm putting in, do I really need that? I will change as a result of your talk today. So that's what I do.
So you're open and taking it all in. That's terrific. Now, David, let me go back to you about